LibreOffice has always existed in a unique position inside the software world. It is one of the few major open-source projects that millions of people rely on every single day. Yet it often operates quietly in the background while commercial office suites dominate the headlines. But every once in a while, a release appears that signals more than just another routine update. And now, the announcement of LibreOffice 25.8.7 as the final update in the entire LibreOffice 25.8 series is creating exactly that kind of moment. For many Linux users, privacy advocates, open-source supporters, students, businesses, and even governments, this marks the end of an important development cycle that has shaped the future of free productivity software over the past year. At first glance, LibreOffice 25.8.7 might sound like a small maintenance release. The version number itself does not immediately scream major event. But the significance comes from what this release represents. This is officially the final polish update before the project moves completely toward the next generation of LibreOffice development. It closes the chapter on one of the most stable and refined branches the project has released in recent memory. And for users who value long-term reliability over flashy experimental features, this update matters a lot more than people realize. LibreOffice has evolved massively since its early days after splitting from OpenOffice. Back then, many critics believed free Office software would never truly compete with proprietary platforms like Microsoft Office or Google Docs. The interfaces felt outdated, compatibility issues were common, and enterprise adoption remained limited. But over time, LibreOffice slowly transformed into something far more mature. Each release improved compatibility with Microsoft formats, optimized performance, modernized the interface, and strengthened security. The 25.8 series became one of the clearest examples of how far the project has come. One of the biggest reasons why LibreOffice 25.8 gained attention was stability. In the Linux world, stability is everything. Power users may love cutting-edge software, but businesses, schools, and government institutions need predictable systems that work every single day without surprises. The 25.8 branch delivered exactly that. Over multiple updates, bugs were fixed, document rendering improved, and compatibility with DocXL, SX, and PPTX files became significantly more reliable. That may sound boring compared to flashy AI announcements dominating the tech industry, but in the real world, reliability is what keeps organizations functioning. The final 25.8.7 release focuses heavily on refinement. Instead of introducing disruptive changes, the update concentrates on fixing lingering issues, improving security patches, and polishing overall performance. This is the kind of release that system administrators love because it signals maturity. By the time a software branch reaches its 7th maintenance release, most major issues have already been identified and resolved. The result is a version considered safe for broad deployment across organizations that depend on Office productivity every day. What makes this especially interesting is the timing. The Office software market is changing rapidly right now. Microsoft continues pushing users deeper into cloud subscriptions and AI-integrated ecosystems. Google Docs dominates lightweight browser-based workflows. Meanwhile, privacy concerns are growing everywhere. More users are questioning whether they truly want every document stored online, scanned by cloud systems, or locked behind recurring subscription fees. LibreOffice stands almost completely opposite to that direction. It remains offline capable, open source, community-driven, and free. That philosophy suddenly feels more relevant in 2026 than it did years ago. For Linux users specifically, LibreOffice has become almost inseparable from the desktop experience itself. Many Linux distributions ship with LibreOffice pre-installed because it represents the ideal balance of freedom and functionality. Whether someone installs Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, Linux, Mint, or Arch-based systems, LibreOffice is usually there waiting immediately after setup. Over the years, this created a deep relationship between Linux growth and LibreOffice development. As Linux adoption expanded globally, LibreOffice quietly benefited alongside it. The 25.8 series also arrived during a period when the LibreOffice team focused heavily on interface modernization. One long-standing criticism of LibreOffice was that it looked too old-fashioned compared to commercial competitors. While many experienced users appreciated the classic layout, newer users often expected cleaner ribbon-style designs and smoother UI behavior. The LibreOffice developers responded carefully, adding optional interface modes, improving icon themes, refining dark mode support, and modernizing the overall user experience without abandoning customization. The result was software that felt far more polished while still respecting user choice. Performance improvements became another major achievement during the 25.8 lifecycle. Large spreadsheets opened faster. Complex presentations rendered more smoothly. Memory usage became more efficient in several workflows. For ordinary users, these changes may appear small individually, but together they create software that feels dramatically more responsive. And in productivity applications, responsiveness matters. People spend hours inside Office suites every day. Even minor delays become frustrating over time. LibreOffice 25.8 steadily reduced many of those friction points. Security also played a major role in this series. Open-source software sometimes faces unfair criticism regarding security. Yet projects like LibreOffice often react to vulnerabilities faster than proprietary competitors because the codebase is transparent and constantly audited by the community. The final 25.8.7 release includes important fixes that further harden the suite against document-based exploits and compatibility vulnerabilities. In an era where malicious Office files remain one of the most common attack methods worldwide, these updates are extremely important. Another fascinating aspect of LibreOffice's growth is government adoption. Around the world, several public institutions have increasingly explored open-source alternatives to reduce dependency on proprietary software vendors. LibreOffice became one of the strongest candidates because it removes licensing costs while preserving document workflow compatibility. During the lifespan of the 25.8 branch, discussions around digital sovereignty intensified globally. Countries began asking difficult questions about software control, data ownership, and long-term independence from foreign tech giants. LibreOffice fits naturally into that conversation. The end of the 25.8 series also highlights something unique about open-source development itself. Unlike commercial software designed primarily for quarterly profits, LibreOffice evolves through a mixture of community contributions, nonprofit coordination, corporate partnerships, and volunteer passion. That development model moves differently. It is sometimes slower, but it is also remarkably resilient. LibreOffice does not disappear because of shareholder pressure or subscription failures. It survives because millions of people believe productivity software should remain accessible to everyone. For content creators, students, and freelancers, LibreOffice remains one of the best free productivity suites available today. Writer continues serving as a powerful alternative to Microsoft Word. Calc handles advanced spreadsheet workflows surprisingly well. Impress powers presentations across classrooms and businesses worldwide. Draw, Base, and Math fill specialized roles that many users overlook but still depend on regularly. The 25.8 cycle strengthened all of these tools incrementally, making the suite feel more cohesive and dependable than before. Interestingly, the rise of AI in productivity software may actually increase LibreOffice's importance rather than weaken it. Many users are becoming uncomfortable with AI systems, constantly analyzing private documents and cloud-based workflows. LibreOffice offers something increasingly rare: local control. You install it, you own it, and your files remain where you choose to keep them. That simplicity feels refreshing in a tech industry obsessed with subscriptions, telemetry, and online dependency. The announcement of LibreOffice 25.8.7 as the final update in the series therefore feels symbolic. It represents the completion of a mature, stable branch that proved open-sourced Office software can remain highly competitive in the modern era. It also signals the project's transition toward future innovation. Developers are already focusing on the next generation of releases, where additional compatibility improvements, performance optimizations, accessibility upgrades, and possibly deeper integration with emerging technologies are expected. But perhaps the most impressive thing about LibreOffice is that it succeeded without needing aggressive marketing campaigns. Unlike billion-dollar corporations, LibreOffice grew largely through reputation and community trust. People recommended it to friends, schools deployed it to students, Linux distributions bundled it by default, and organizations adopted it because it worked. That organic growth created one of the strongest software ecosystems in the open-source world. The final maintenance release of any software branch often goes unnoticed outside technical communities. But LibreOffice 25.8.7 deserves attention because it reflects something bigger happening in technology right now. Users are increasingly searching for alternatives that prioritize ownership, transparency, privacy, and long-term stability. Open-source projects are no longer viewed as experimental hobbyist tools. They are becoming central pillars of modern computing infrastructure, and that may be the real story behind this release. LibreOffice is no longer simply the free alternative. It has matured into a fully capable productivity platform trusted by millions globally. The conclusion of the 25.8 series proves how far the project has advanced. What once seemed impossible for open-source Office software now feels completely normal. People write books, run businesses, manage governments, create research papers, and organize entire workflows using LibreOffice every single day. As the project moves beyond the 25.8 branch, users will likely remember this series as one of the most refined and dependable generations LibreOffice ever produced. It balanced modernization without sacrificing familiarity. It improved compatibility without compromising freedom. And it demonstrated that community-driven software can compete in a world dominated by massive corporations. So while LibreOffice 25.8.7 may technically be just another update, it quietly marks the end of an important era for one of the most significant open-source applications in existence. In a technology landscape increasingly defined by subscriptions, locked ecosystems, and cloud dependency, LibreOffice continues moving in the opposite direction. Free, open, local, customizable, and controlled by its users. And judging by the momentum surrounding the project right now, this final update in the 25.8 series is not an ending at all. It is simply the foundation for whatever comes next.